All right, let's do it. Up onto the mat. And here we go. Tiptoes and heels. Oh, I've got to close my eyes. It sounds so strong. Tiptoes and heels. Even this, when I went back to do it, you know, I felt the weakness had already come in. That's only good. Pretty much like 3 weeks off. Saturday, the last Saturday, 21st, that was the last class I did. But that week, a lot of the classes hadn't been on. So it was pretty much 3 weeks. And I could feel that there was a little bit more weakness in my calves and shins doing this. So it's amazing how quickly the strength goes. So just tuning into that rhythm as we finish it off, the last few tiptoes and heels. And then when we bring it to stillness, just noticing it and allowing the feet to spread. Take a breath in. Send the breath down. Just like drops of rain, just landing on the feet there with the breath. And then we can move on to the hands. So a lot of rubbing going on this time of year. It's been so cold, the extremities have been really suffering. So warming up has been my favorite so far. And remembering to warm up between the fingers, so to cross the fingers and warm them up that way as well. And to pinch the tips of the fingers to bring a bit of blood supply in there as well. It's really good. And of course, easiest of all is to bring the thumb in and to press. And to bring the thumb in and to press. And then just let the hands land by your side. See if you can feel them. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, feet and hands. And the face already starting to come with. But could probably do with a bit more input. So let's bring the hands here and open. And release. This is one of the areas that really tenses when you don't do it regularly. And release. And release. Let's do a little bit more. So let's bring the tongue to the cheek. And draw that line up and down. When you get tired, point in the center of the line. And ready to do the other side. And then letting the jaw relax, getting it into that dribble mode. Might need a stroke as well for some of us. I can't do without the stroke. I love it. So it's kind of like a little reward for all that work from my jaw at the end. And then just that moment to feel the jaw, the hands and the feet. Feet, hands and face. Feet, hands and face. I am safe. Lovely. Okay, so let's begin. Let's bring the hands into position. Feel the feet down there, rooting you, breathing in, reaching with the spine. Noticing any tension that's there. And then breathing out forward then. Letting the head go. Relaxing the jaw. Let's see how it feels. Breathing in, we're going to look up. Flatten the back and come down, breastbone first. Let the head go, relax the jaw, feel the feet and hands again. And then we're going to take a step back into our dragon pose. Leaving that big, heavy dragon tail behind that leg as you lean in. Leaning in. Pushing with the hands so that the legs can relax some more. So this might feel a bit grittier than normal, so we're just going to spend an extra second or two there. Really wanting to feel that leg being left behind. Relax the jaw. This has a little bit of a link down there. And depending on how it is, if you've been doing sun salutations, you'll probably be fine doing a nice big reach here. But if you haven't, you might feel a bit wobblier than normal or just that you lose the stretch. So you can just stay down here this week until you get back into it. All right, let's bring this front leg back. Plank pose. Pushing through the floor, breathing.
Trying to get that heart rate up. And again, this was somewhere else where I noticed, oh my goodness, usually I can do 4 breaths without too much difficulty, but I was done in 3. All right, palm upon palm, hands on the forehead and a little bottom roll. Getting into that rhythm. Okay, just waiting for that change to happen. Looking out for it. There's mine, a nice deep breath. I'm just going to bring it to stillness when I'm done and just feeling the response. So you might still be going, you might have stopped already. You know what comes next, so bringing the hands beneath when you're ready.
Squeeze those adrenal glands, so breathe in, lengthen. And then we're going to push
Through the body, leave the hands where they are. Firmly stuck to the mat in puppy pose, leaning out of the wrists, elbows, shoulders, into the ribs. And then we're going to start with the rib cage rock. Little rock here to ease open those ribs, let the diaphragm begin to release, and then another little stretch. Lovely. And then we're going to come up to hands and knees, tuck the toes under. We're coming into down dog here. Now, of course, the hamstrings are not all that warm, so you can bend the knees a little bit. Work on the spine, maybe it's a fraction, a little bit of S to C here is quite good. Get things to release first. And once you feel that warming up between the shoulder blades, then reach, and then begin to drop the heels down. Relax the jaw, let go of the head. And again, it's another pose you might want to stay in with a tiny fraction longer, maybe a lot of things to release still. Or you might want to move on, bringing the same leg forward that went back. And we're leaning in. Again, feeling that leg, that big tail being left behind as you lean further and further forward. Waiting for it to relax. Remember, it's that feeling of letting the leg go. After. If you've got it, coming up, breathing in, reaching up. And then bringing the hands back down for a second stretch. And then we'll bring this back leg forward. We're coming into forward bend, letting the head go, releasing. And we're going to look up to open that breastbone up and to bring ourselves down with an open breastbone. A little bit of a stronger stretch here. If we grab hold of the elbows here, we can give ourselves a little bit of a rock. This will get a slightly different place at the back of the diaphragm. It's quite good. And then just release and then curl. Gently coming up.
breathing in to open up, noticing the difference already, reaching with the spine, with the arms, with the breath. Bring the palms together. Draw that line down the center of the body. Just noticing, oh, do I need to draw it all the way down, or am I okay with it just here? And to have that moment of centering, to feel the feet on the floor, the hands on the line, the jaw relaxing towards the line, to let all the thoughts and everything that's going on around you drift away as you bring all your awareness to this central line. Lovely. Okay, so lots to do today because we're going to try and go through the whole body. So let's start with this gland here. Let's give this gland a nice little warm up. It doesn't matter which leg you choose first. I've chosen my left, but it really doesn't matter. And we want to get this area feeling warm because we're going to go in for leg stretches. It's always a bit of a shock to the system after some time off. So point and squeeze, point and squeeze. After that, to get a little bit of that pumping in there. And then we're going to step forward with that foot, bend the knee, turn the back foot a little bit so it's a bit more comfortable, bend both knees down, and we're coming into this one-legged stretch. So the front leg, trying to straighten out the knee to get that hamstring stretch, that calf stretch. And remember, as soon as you're in the stretch, to relax, to let the legs go, let the neck go, relax the jaw as well. So through that painful stretch, there's this release going on. Okay, same foot. As we uncurl, the same foot is going to now come behind you. You're going to step forward with the other leg. Keep this back leg on the ball of the foot as you bend the knee. And then try and bring that heel down. So really coming into the calf here. Straightening out the knee towards the end helps to get really deep in there. So now we've got this front foot here. Again, we can come down to it, give it a nice little massage, really milking out that cortisol, which, you know, if we haven't been actively getting rid of it, it does accumulate, which is why we often feel worse after some time off. Okay, trying to straighten that leg, so both knees bent, and trying to straighten that front leg, folding over the leg to get the stretch all the way up. And within that stretch, that feeling of release, relax the toes. Let go of the jaw, the neck. And then this leg is the leg that's going to go behind. Stepping forward, so you're on the ball of the foot, so your foot's coming down straight behind you. Bend the knee first though, and then try and straighten the back knee out. It's quite nice to give both legs a good stretch here. So we'll just do this, what I call inverse stretching. So we come down with the knees bent and we rely on our thighs, hopefully able to grab hold of our feet or our ankles. And then we start to slowly push through the feet to stretch out that back a bit. Lovely. Well done, everyone. And noticing, hopefully, that the legs are through all of that. The feet are spreading and starting to feel a bit more relaxed. Still a couple of things to do though. Still big muscle group here with the knees. So let's just do that. Again, you can just balance, hold on to something. And just stretch out, or we can reach and do the dancer pose if that's a bit of bouncing. And that's to get that thigh having a nice big stretch. Lovely. Oh, okay, so once we put the legs down after that, we can sort of start to feel the effect. Now, what would be nice, because we're going to go and sit down and do Moro stuff next, is that we get in a psoas stretch before then. So coming into triangle pose. That's equilateral triangle. So that means that, you know, the distance between your feet needs to be about as long as one of your legs. You can come down with the knees bent, but make sure you don't knock them together if you struggle with this one. And obviously you can have a block or a book or something you put your hands on. And then once you're down there, let the head and the jaw go. And again, start to try and lengthen out the back of the knees and to drop the body forward. And we start to get into that psoas stretch. Now remember, psoas is hot plate area. So that means that we are trying to feel that feeling of the heavy sack of potatoes, the putting down of the legs. Now when we're done here, we can reach out our hands and heel toe our feet, or walk them into a head down dog position. And of course, with the head down dog, final opportunity for a really good stretch here. Bend one knee and push the heel of the other leg into the floor. And then the other side. Finishing with both, so pushing both heels down. Relaxing the legs at the final end, letting go of the hot plates. We drop down onto the knees. Just loosening the tail. So a few circles here, be nice. One side and the other. Want to come into the psoas a little bit deeper, because I know it's very problematic for many people. So let's do a pigeon pose. So we're going to bring the knee between the hands, the foot slightly to the side, sliding this back leg behind you. Now you can totally manage how strong this is by the push on the floor. And this is sack of potatoes. So pretending that the back is like a sack of potatoes, you're trying to drop it down to the earth without rolling over. Let the legs go, relax the toes. And just breathing for a moment, just remembering what is it that I need to do? What reflex is it that is making me hold on here? And then we're going to come up and do the other side when we feel done. Again, just giving it time. This one is all about patience. This is why it's one of the yin yoga favorites. This one is the more time you give it, the more there is to it. So just trying to relax those legs, put down that sack of potatoes. And then to come out of this one, we're just going to roll over onto that buttock and bring the leg around so that we find ourselves in this lovely sitting position. And giving ourselves a little bit of congratulations as we've loosened that pelvis off the legs with those stretches and some lovely circles. Going both directions. And before we move on to the upper back and diaphragm area, let's just sit still for a moment here and just notice this release of the legs. Okay, so there's 3 different things that we want to be able to feel down here. One is the legs are heavy, we're letting them go. 2 is that sack of potatoes feeling. We must engage the core, because otherwise we might roll backwards. And a sense that the tail is loose. Yeah, the tail is loose. And that's the 3 reflexes that are working there in the lower half of the body. And the more we remind ourselves of that, the more that we'll sit, walk, and lie with this sensation there. Okay. So let's do a few reflex moves for the diaphragm. So let's start with our classic. We've got the right hand on the left rib, and the other hand on the elbow, and I'm just starting to create this rock. Now, I've noticed that with the reflexes, over the years that I've been doing them, that some of them come and go then into fashion. So this one for me has gone out of fashion recently. I do it and not much happens. Okay, so there are alternatives. You know, there's this one, you know, where I push side to side. So if, you know, if this one's gone out of fashion for you, then bring in this one. Slightly different. The body likes that new input. That's all it is. It just wants a bit of variety. Again, just waiting for that response. Lovely. And then when you bring it to stillness, we're going to, again, and it's in your own time, remember you want to change to happen first. We then just bring the hand here and we're like, oh, what can I feel? And the same with this isometric one that we often do, you know, where we push here into the diaphragm. So, you know, I still love this one. It hasn't gone out of fashion, but it might have done for you. So your alternative is this massage one with the fingers. Remember this one where you breathe in, you look up, and as you breathe out, you let the fingers slide underneath. That's also isometric, but this is a little bit easier to do, especially in public, so it's good to practice. So you're breathing in, holding the breath, pushing back. And then you're just letting it go when you need to. And we've got that 3 times. Three breaths, 3 pushes, 3 holds. And then hopefully after that, we can feel that warmth there. And then we're just going to start to stretch this area out. So nice, easy stretch to do. Again, one that you can do very much in public, just about, is to have the hands on the breastbone and pull open the breastbone, look up, and now breathe into the hands. Nice deep breaths to really fill up. And feel that you're pushing the diaphragm away and that we're opening out here. And just doing that, it's like, oh, I can feel the whole of my chest area much more floaty than it was. Yeah. So remember, when the diaphragm gets tight, you start to get this forwardness, this heavy feeling in the breastbone area, and this like really helps to make it feel lighter and open. Again, but you might want to add a bit stronger stretch, so interlacing the fingers, rolling the shoulders back is a very similar stretch. You can then imagine that the hands are still there, and you can just simply just breathe in, lifting the arms up behind you, nice and simple. If you want to include shoulders as well, bring this into the hare pose, head on the floor. And here, you start to think, oh goodness, I need the next reflex for my shoulders and arms to release, which is the ATNR orangutan arms, as it's fondly known, which we'll be doing in a minute. But we're not going to
go any further before we've rubbed our hot plates a little bit. So let's get this reflex underway. Just rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. And then we're going to get a lovely warm palm of the hands over that area for the extra warmth, which we really need to, like in this weather, we need to keep these kidneys and these adrenal glands nicely covered up. We'll rub at the top here. So with the hot plates, often it's just a question of bringing the attention to them. There's no actual stretching with hot plates in the same way, because they're a transitional reflex. So they have a role as creating transition rather than releasing tension or tightness or holding patterns. So, you know, when we're done, all we have to be able to do is to feel those 4 hot plates there. And of course, it coincides that the lower 2 hot plates are near the adrenal glands, so that's quite nice. And so if we come onto hands and knees, we can bring in S to C into this, ST and R reflex. So we're looking up, the 2 hot plates are coming closer together and pushing through the floor. The 2 hot plates are coming closer together at the front. And we're moving from one to the other, perhaps with a slightly cranky spine. Remember, the hands are pulling as you come into cow and the hot plates come together, and you're pushing as you come into cat and the hot plates come together. As you can sort of start to see how connective these hot plates make these movements. And you're getting into a nice rhythm. Oh, got a visitor. Hello, Pepin. The dog's just coming. Okay, keep going. And because we're here, and it is a reflex move, you know, I, for example, noticed in the sun salutation that I still had quite a bit of tension up here. So I'm going to bring my hands here and just rock this area. Now, your tension might have been down here. So if that's the case, then you want to rock this area as well. So you keep doing that while I get rid of the dog. Well, you can stay, actually. I'm going to close the door. Left it open. Wants to be in the sun, I think. All right, so we are literally loosening up these areas, and this is ST and R as well. And of course, what we want at the end of ST and R, what the pattern is that neutral spine. So it's neither S to C. So we just want to spend a moment there. Okay, so let's come back to the shoulders, right? Because we kind of left them. So we're going to breathe in, 2 arms up. 1 arm forward, 1 arm back. Look at that back thumb. 2 arms up. Now, this is my favorite of the AT and R moves, but as you know, there's lots of them. We tend to do this one so much because I really like it and it really works for me. But like I said, they can go out of fashion. So you keep going with that, but just to have it on camera and as a little bit of a reminder, you can just turn the head to do this one, or just turn the eyes and follow that train from station A to station B. What we haven't done for a while, which is quite good for AT and R, is this one where you're in cobra pose and you look from one side to another, for as long as you can hold cobra pose. Well, that's a really good one as well. So, just a couple of examples there, if you've got bored of this one, okay? But either way, when you come back up, the most important thing is the new pattern right across the shoulders. So tune into that, orangutan arms. So that then when we come back to our hair pose here, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back, lift the arms up. We need to try within this stretch to let go of the arms. And of course, this is a nice chest stretch as well. So we're thinking nice warm diaphragm, breathing into those hands. And if you want it a bit heart stronger, up into the hair pose. So much work to do on those shoulders, eh? When we come up, we hopefully, just like the legs earlier, we get that feeling, oh yes, I've definitely done some really good work there to release the shoulders. Okay, and of course, as you know, shoulders are very, very closely related to the neck. So neck reflexes, it would be good here. So you could just rock your head from side to side. Tuck the chin in. Keep rocking as you work your way closer and closer towards the breastbone. Feeling all that release. Coming up when it feels right. I'm going over the top of the flagpole to polish a little bit of the back there, which might be a little bit tight as well. Relax your jaw. And back to the center. Find the top of the flagpole and orangutan your arms and feel that release come down the arms. Breathe. Oh, so coming up to the very top reflex here, noticing how it has an effect on the whole of the body. Right down to the tail. So is your tail in neutral? And you let your legs go. And then if you feel like, oh gosh, actually my neck is really tight, then circle in the square is next. Yeah, so you're pointing and corner 2, point to corner 3, point to corner 4, turn the chin, corner 1, turn the chin, corner 2, just again trying to keep the arms in orangutan mode the whole time, turn the chin, corner 4, and turn the chin, corner 5. Bringing that back to center and noticing the response. The arms are getting even longer. Arms getting even longer. And then we can come to the floor and do this reflex move here. I need to take your glasses off if you wear glasses for this one. And we're going to roll over the head. Give the whole of the spine a stretch. Relax your arms. And then come back to the forehead. And over the head. And back to the forehead. And when you come into that sort of childlike pose part of this, make sure you have just a little moment to just relax those shoulders down onto the earth. And the final one, we're just going to place the head on the floor, bring the hands by the feet, and just feel the whole of the body. Now there's still a little bit to do in the shape of twists and side bends, but apart from that, we're pretty much there. In terms of the reflexes anyway. And so what we need to do now is just a little bit of catch up with a bit of a twist. So we're going to sit with our legs crossed. Sorry, no, one leg straight, one leg bent. This is the one that I've been doing in class all week and I really like it. So crossing over, we've got either the hand, the elbow, or the arm right over, and this hand behind. So a couple of things, we've got to do the whole body here. We've got to release the legs, drop the back, sack of potatoes, feel the spine loose so that we can twist in the lower back first. As it comes up the spine and we reach the diaphragm, you might want to give the diaphragm a little bit of a ribcage rock. Release that. Once that's released, shoulders, orangutan. And then finally, to get the neck involved, we're going to pretend to look over the shoulder with our eyes. Close your eyes, it helps. Relax your jaw. And hopefully we've got this stretch coming all the way up. It's a nice, good, strong stretch because the whole body is in a good place. Got two sides to do, so just timing it as you please. Relax the legs, put down the sack of potatoes, feel the looseness of the spine as you twist it around. As you get up further, don't forget the diaphragm, might need a rock. Shoulders moving, head coming over, breathing. And of course, you can go through the whole body now to all of the different reflexes that we've done. And any tricky ones that you have, pay them special attention. And come back to the center. Oh, so our sideward bend is going to be slightly different because we're going to try and bring a little bit of psoas into it. So we're up on our knees and we're going to bring one leg to the side. Okay, so this is quite a strong one. We're going to bring the hand to the floor and we're going to reach with the arm. And here we're trying to sink that leg into the ground. We're going to drop the sack of potatoes but without bending the body. And we're being pulled by the hand and we need to breathe into that diaphragm. Remember its warmth. Make sure the head is happy where it is. And all of these poses now that we've gone through, the whole body and given it a bit of an MOT there, we can use, well, where is the tight spot? Oh, if it's in your shoulders, it's orangutan arms. If you can't quite let go of your leg. If it's in the rib cage, it's the moro, a little bit of a rock in your mind's eye. And there's always, after a little bit of linear stretching, quite nice to have a few circles. So let's see, we can circle the pelvis, we can circle the diaphragm area. And if we think about the top of the flagpole, let the head just roll around. We've got all three circles all happening at once, one way. And once we've got that synchronicity, change in direction. It might not be so synchronized to start with, it's okay. Just building up towards being able to do all those three circles. And when we bring ourselves to stillness and we place those 3 points in line, we can just feel the spine is neither rest to see, the legs are letting go, the shoulders are relaxed, releasing in the arms, the jaw is letting go. Have a moment for feet, hands and face. All right, so we're going to get onto the floor for our final little bit. I'm just going to mute these, they're not in the relaxation. Okay, great. So, onto the ground. Well, because of the nature of FPR being on the floor so much, we haven't actually done the reflex moves for them, so they are going to be done here. And it might be just nice to do one straight away, so knee bend rock is always good. Feeling how loose the body is or not. So if there's a not loose part, let's say it's your shoulders, as you rock, you could be thinking, okay, I need to orangutan my arms. How does that feel? And then hopefully the pattern will filter in and you'll feel it loosen. Same with the neck. So relax your jaw. That's always the first thing if the neck isn't moving. And then tune into the top of the flagpole and make sure it's nice and greasy and the head is loose. It's the lower back. Well, that's going to happen anyway when you bring it to stillness, but you might still remember what it's like and feel those hot plates moving. And if it's in the breastbone, the chest area, middle of the back, it's the diaphragm. So again, just thinking, oh yeah, I remember what my warm diaphragm felt like. Can I bring that feeling in as I rock? That means when we bring it to stillness, when the body's done its job, the whole of the reflex system is involved in this. Release. And nice though it would be to let the legs go and to just go straight into relaxation. There's still a few things to do, especially for the hormonal part of this. So let's bring the arms up and over. Shoulder tension here. I can tell because usually my arms touch the floor. Today they don't. So I need to spend a bit of extra time thinking about my orangutan arms. Maybe even imagining 2 arms up, 1 arm forward, 1 arm back. Maybe rocking the head a little bit to loosen it all. Hot plates, the top 2 hot plates are supporting the arms. But your arms might be all right, so you could have just gone straight into your bridge pose. And brain, this is all about having those adrenal glands above the heart above the head, switching the flow. And so give yourself time. Now when the legs and the back start to get fatigued, or the core I should say, not the back, the legs and the core start to get fatigued, and you're thinking of coming down, don't forget that there's this lovely rock that you can do on your way down. As you bring the spine down, you feel tension there between the vertebrae. Then we're just going to rock, 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 all our way down. Rock, 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 all our way down. And then just look at that, come down, and now my arms are on the floor. So powerful this. And of course, you could have also been rocking the neck if it was, you could do both together, one or the other. Lovely. Let's bring the hands to the sides for our floor twist. So foot on the knee, as you know, is the favorite here because I like it because it brings the knee close enough to the hand. And then I can use that hand to roll myself over a bit further. Letting the head roll to the side, but all the reflexes are involved in this. So letting go of the legs. The rib cage is the diaphragm. If that feels a bit tight, you can use the hand and give yourself another little mini rock here. You've got the hot plates, one going forward, one going back at the bottom, and the same at the top. Orangutan arms, relax your jaw. Release the head. And there's even a bit of S to C, because if you think, if you tune into your breath as you breathe in, there's a slight S shape. As you breathe out, a slight C shape. Just taking your time. You haven't done that for a while. There's probably a lot of little knots to undo, so as you wish, swapping over when you're ready. Again, you know what's coming next. That's the whole point of having the routine at the end and at the beginning. So that these are things you can practice easily at home. We're going to come up into our fish pose to finish off. The only reflex that we haven't really covered is the landau, which is the reaching reflex, but you can here think about it, because as you breathe in, you let the spine reach. It's there. Really to help and support you in this pose. And then you're going to come rolling the head down, tucking the chin in, and releasing the body into the earth. Oh, feeling that lovely shower of happy hormones as they come down through the body. So we can do tick-tock here. I mean, you might be done. You know, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm done. You don't need to do any more. Tick-tock is a good, especially for the lower body, it's a really good relaxation. It's very good at night. People often ask me how I do it under the duvet. The answer is I don't do it under the duvet. The duvet finishes at my ankles. Come on, so we get the dog out. So it might be a bit disruptive in relaxation. So just making sure that you're warm enough. Like I said last time, this time of year, it's quite nice to have something underneath you. Just allow yourself to get the comfort that you need, because you might be here a while. You'll get exactly what you need as we give ourselves permission to fully rest. And so today's relaxation is going to be based on the breath, what I call the balm breath. It's one of my favorites. Just nice and simple as you breathe into your toes and feet. It's like the breath is a little balm. And you're slathering your toes and feet with that balm. And a little bit like a heat ointment. As you breathe out, you feel that warming, relaxing heat penetrate through the toes and feet. So the toes and feet relax. And then bringing your awareness to the calves and shins and the back of the knee and the knee itself. As you breathe into them, slathering the whole lower leg and feet with this lovely ointment, this lovely balm. As you breathe out, feeling the heat and the warmth as they release and let go. Breathing into the thighs, front, back, and sides, and the hips. Filling up the whole of the legs with the balm breath. And as you breathe out again, feeling all that tension seep away as the balm warms up and relaxes every muscle right down to the bones. As you breathe in this final breath into the feet, the lower leg, the knees, the upper leg, the hips, the whole of the leg, covered in this lovely balm. And as you breathe out, feeling it all release. Letting the breath come into the pelvis now to cover the back of the pelvis, around the tail, the front of the pelvis, but also inside, as if you could coat all the organs with this lovely balm breath. And as you breathe out, feeling that lovely warmth and release as this whole area begins to relax and the hot plates melt
into the floor, and the legs let go even more. Feeling some of that balm be taken up the spine, the balm breath into the shoulder blades and into the rib cage and the breastplate and right over into the shoulder joints. So as you breathe into this upper torso, the whole of the torso internally as well as internally covered in this balm. And as you breathe out, feeling that lovely heat penetrate, release any tension that you can feel in this area. Breathing in, feeling the breath coming down the arms, the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the palm of the hands, the back of the hands, the fingers. Covering the whole of the hands and arms with this balm so that as you breathe out, you can feel that lovely warmth, healing, relaxing all the way from the fingertips to the shoulders as the arms let go completely. Breathing in, feeling the breath coming into the throat, the neck, the joint between the head and neck, the jaw, spreading the balm across the lips, the cheeks, around the eyes, the forehead, the brow, the temple, the crown of the head, back of the head, behind the ears, back to the jaw, the whole of the face and head and neck and throat and jaw covered in this balm. And as you breathe out, feeling that warmth, release, letting go. So as you breathe in, you can breathe into the whole body, feet, hands, legs, arms, torso, throat, neck, head, face, covering the whole body with this lovely balm. And as you breathe out, the whole body letting go into the ground. A little bit more. Might be one or two areas that need extra balm. Send your attention down there, breathe into it. Slather it all over again with the breath, letting the tension go as you breathe out. A little bit more. You're breathing in to the whole body. And as you breathe out, feeling the weight of the body as it sinks into the floor, feeling the legs letting go from the lower two hot plates, the arms letting go from the top two hot plates, the spine in neutral, the head heavy, the jaw relaxed. Sinking into the earth. Breathing in, aware of the whole body, covered in this warm, relaxing salve. And as you breathe out, that balmy breath, taking away all the tension as you sink further into the floor. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. And as you breathe out, letting go of the whole body into the earth. And then having that little moment where you can feel both the body sinking into the ground and the soft, relaxed body at the same time. Feeling the soft, relaxed body and its weight, its release into the floor simultaneously. Just allowing yourself to remain here if you need to
for as long as you like. If your mind gets distracted, keep bringing it back to the breath, the balmy breath spreading through the body on the in-breath, and the release, the warming up of the body on the out-breath. It's sinking into the floor a little bit more. And then having that moment where you feel the two simultaneously. And so lovingly leaving you to spend as long as you need to. And I shall hopefully see you all next week. Take care, everyone.